Welcome back to Old School Sports, and a quick programming note before we get this episode underway. The episode is actually completed. Noticed that after I posted it, got some feedback from Patrick DeBonis that I had about 3 minutes in the middle of the episode where I'd somehow turned the microphone back on, but I wasn't talking, and I was just randomly checking on things, moving through the preseason. But rather than force everyone to fast forward through that part or just watch me clicking on a screen with no commentary and nothing except occasional coughs or other noises out of me, figured I would edit the video, get that out of there. Apologies that I missed it. Thanks to Patrick for the heads up on that. And on to the episode where we discuss the International Amateur Free Agent class. We finally finalize our 26-man roster for the upcoming 2042 season, and we suffer a pretty significant injury in spring training. Welcome back to Old School Sports and our Out of the Park Baseball 26 series, Rescue the Rockies. And the IAFA signing period begins today. Appreciate those of you who shared some thoughts with me since our last episode. As I noted, it was going to be a quick turnaround, so apologies that I won't be able to integrate all of the feedback that I probably get from the worldwide scouting department into these decisions, but still have an opportunity to first guess me in the comments to the previous episode or to this episode. Otherwise, it's been a relatively busy off-season for us. We added Kyle Campos in a trade very early in the off-season to be our number 4 starter. Also made a few other moves that we think will ultimately, hopefully, keep our team competitive going forward. Lost in the National League Championship Series last year, but we made a trade for the left fielder Chris Kuhn. We re-signed Phil Dingwell after he hit free agency. Re-signed Jason House after he hit free agency. And we've decided that Elliot Bedford is going to be our backup catcher this year. One move still outstanding as far as the trade market and the free agent market, and it's potentially signing the pitcher Sergio Morales, a free agent. Made him a 1-year offer a couple of weeks ago at this point. Still haven't gotten any reaction from him, which is probably not the best sign in the world, but hopefully we'll hear from him in the not too distant future. And there were 10 position players that we investigated most closely in our training camps as we were working through the IAFA process over the last few months. 5 that we highlighted as our prime targets last episode. We'll talk about them briefly right here. One is Damiano Tilly Burine, shortstop, decent defensively, decent speed, and we think he could be a decent hitter. Does have extreme development risk, though. Burine looking for $3.2 million, probably not the direction that we will go. Similarly, first baseman Ernesto Barnesy Pena, not a lot of speed, a more than competent defensive first baseman when all is said and done. I think he could be an interesting hitter if he reaches his full potential. Really like the home run power and eye combination. But although those 2 guys were on our final list of 5 players, they're the first 2 that we get rid of, and that leaves us with 3 players left to consider. One is the shortstop Luis Vera, 17-year-old. He was the 3rd recommendation of Raven Spawn 3. A lot to like about him. Very well-balanced bat that could be above average at everything. And when you look at those 30 and 35 ratings for a 17-year-old, pretty solid, although admittedly he is an older 17-year-old, almost 18 at this point. Like the durability, really like the personality. The defense and the base running are mediocre at best. Ravenspawn 3 kind of made the point that Vera might be, my words, not his, the safest pick of the three, but probably doesn't have the same superstar upside as perhaps a couple of the other players that he was more enthusiastic about. But I do like a very well-balanced player like Vera, especially with a guy like him who, with his durability, you would expect to be in the lineup every day. Shortstop Alex Lazou was the number one choice of Ravenspawn 3, and not hard to see why. Boy Wonder also has a very interesting potential bat, 17-year-old also with decent progress and a high ceiling going forward. Very good speed and an interesting defensive player, although he's going to butcher an occasional ball here and there that he gets to. Don't really see him as being a prospect in the outfield, although he has played right and left in the past. Mixed personality, don't love the low leadership and low baseball IQ, but do like the high adaptability and work ethic. Hasn't been able to overcome the stress of close situations, is not necessarily the best brief assessment of a player. And last but not least is Mike Ramos. Hesitant to commit is his personality trait. He was the second recommendation of Ravenspawn 3 and top of the list for Barley Wine, who noted the potentially exceptional defense, home run power, and eye. Hopefully would make up for the fact that he's going to strike out a massive amount of times and likely struggle to make contact. So Ramos, the catcher, the shortstop, Alex Lazou, and the left fielder, Luis Vera, are the three players that make it to my short list, and also the three players that did get some consideration from the Worldwide Scouting Department. And ultimately, I think any of these players would be very interesting, but I am going to go with the left fielder, Luis Vera. I think he's just the cleanest prospect, like the durability. The bat can be above average at everything. Don't love the lack of speed. Don't love the mediocre defense. At 6'5", he certainly could potentially be a first baseman as well. And if he reaches his full potential with that bat, you'd be happy to have him as a DH. Just really love all the personality traits that are strong, and his personality is by far the best of the three players that we're looking at. Tough decision for me. I really like Lazou. Get the point from Ravenspawn 3 on him. The speed, the glove, mixed personality. Don't necessarily love the description there, though. We will certainly put Lazou onto our prospect short list to track the boy wonder going forward. And similar with Mike Ramos, the hesitant to commit part of his personality, probably not perfect. Love the glove, think the power could be incredible, but do really worry about whether he's going to ultimately make enough contact. But we will certainly put him on the short list for prospects, track him as well. We are going to offer all of the $5.2 million that we have to spend to Vera. Doesn't mean that we're going to get him. Maybe we have to pivot back to a Ramos or a Lazou, who are both actually looking for less money than Vera is right now. But to try to ensure that we can bring him on board, we're going to offer him every penny that we have and hope for the best. And we have finally heard from Sergio Morales. Admits that our offer is the best that he's gotten, probably because he hasn't received anything else. So positive feedback from him. Obviously waiting to hear what Mr. Vera has to say about the offer we made to him to join our international complex and hopefully ultimately be a big part of our future. And some positive feedback from Vera as well. Unless someone offers him a better deal, he'll sign with us. So he's certainly still leaving himself an out, but Supposedly both Morales and Vera favor the offers that they have received. The youngster Olivero Garcia, still on the market, says he's got a better offer, but he's been saying that for quite some time. Still demanding over $22 million a year for 3 years, but who knows what's going to happen. Maybe he will linger on the market and have that price come down if whatever he's been counting on doesn't come through. And it's 2042, so we've got a bunch of job offers to play in the World Baseball Classic, but haven't really found that particularly engaging. We did get Luis Vera signed, so $5.2 million every penny. He becomes hopefully the prize jewel of our international complex. And Olivero Garcia was not lying to us. Ended up signing a pretty lucrative contract with the Milwaukee Brewers, almost $60 million total over 3 years. Still a bit odd that the Blue Jays decided to cut him after last year. I had some questions about that. Doesn't make sense to me that he would have been released by the Toronto organization, but it works out very well for the Brewers. Not sure how this is going to work out for the Blue Jays, but those are the breaks. And we continue to sim forward through the spring, or I guess it's the winter. We're heading towards the spring. Sergio Morales supposedly favors the offer, but still hoping for something more. Interestingly, the top free agent on the market, Victor Ramirez, remains on the market. $55 million demand apparently just is not something that anyone has been able to meet at this point. Be interesting to see what he has to say if we have a conversation with him. Well, he says he's got an offer from the Salt Lake Trappers, looking for 8 years at $55 million a year. So would be a big, bold move for the former expansion team to bring on the prize of the free agent class this year. And it took us a long time to get here, but we do get Sergio Morales signed to that 1-year deal. As we've talked about, the right-hander is likely to become a long reliever for us, but should be a very good influence in the clubhouse. And if and when we do have some injuries or ineffectiveness in the starting rotation, Morales is a former Cy Young Award winner and All-Star, who at this point has started 350 Major League games. Certainly not an ace anymore at this point, but a good, solid professional who, with the offense that we have helping our pitchers and the defense we have behind our pitchers to help them as well, could probably be reasonably effective for us. So feel that we have done most of what we're going to do in this off season, which is good because the preseason starts in just a few days. And we've made it to the beginning of the preseason here on February 4th, still set for spring training to begin on the 27th. And opening day did just get moved back to April 3rd, which is good. Had been defaulting to April 10th, which bothered me. Ravens Spawn 3 gave me the very sage and common sense advice that if it was starting on the 10th, don't worry about moving it back and losing out on that second trip through the development lab, because it's just a computer game, and if it starts on April 10th and you're playing games into November, probably doesn't really matter, which is very true. Thinking about player development, actually it still just seems that the player development lab either has changed or is broken somehow, because it says that they've got 4 or 5 weeks remaining. Does get us, I still don't think that timing is going to work. I think there's going to be not enough time for those later trips through the development lab, even with me not changing anything. So does seem like something quirky is going on the last couple years in the development lab. But it looks like we might have decent results. Alex Gomez excelling at his gap power program, and Carlos Bear Barrel Davia and John Jefferson both on track in their gap power programs as well. Ryan Harville on track with increasing his pitch movement. Everyone else is frustrated with their programs, which includes 3 generate bat speed programs, but positively, nobody's really close to struggling, so at the very least, hopefully we won't have any regression in the programs that we're taking part in this year. And Victor Ramirez did end up signing with the Salt Lake Trappers, a massive 8-year, $472 million deal. So congratulations to the Trappers on landing the prize of this free agent class. And we've now made it to the start of spring training 2042. Quick look at the development lab. Still got a week or two to go there. Harville is now excelling. Gamez and Jefferson remain on track, but Carlos Bear Barrel de Villa has fallen off the pace a bit. Marquis Mensch, though, now looks like he's on track with his bat speed program, so still potential for lots of things to change over these next 10 days or so. Fortunately, though, still doesn't look like there's any real probability of a significant regression for someone, which is one step in the right direction. And we're nearing the end of the development lab period. Looks like Harville, Wheats, and Jefferson we may have success with. Unfortunately, I'm a stupid idiot, and you'll notice that there's one spot that's no longer filled. I was trying to clean up our minor league system, and I clicked on several non-prospects in our international complex to release them. And apparently the radio button for Nils Mensch was also clicked at the time. So even though it's the same day that I made this mistake at, Mensch is dropped out of the development lab. Obviously, I've gone into the commissioner mode and I put him back onto the Rockies, but I can't remember whether we were going to be successful with him or not, given that it looks like we've only got 3 successful programs here. I think there was certainly a chance we would have had some success with him in his Generate Bat Speed program. So definitely a bummer that we wasted an entire program because of my poor clicking and the fact that the radio button for Mensch was clicked up in our spring training team when I thought I was down clicking on a bunch of people in our international complex to release them. And we've made it to the end of the first round trip in the development lab, but some really bad news. Our number 2 starter, Bob Russell, a stretched elbow ligament, is going to keep him out for the year. So certainly the fact that we made that trade for Campos to be our 4th starter, and then we also signed Mr. Morales to be our insurance pitcher. Already, unfortunately, has paid off because our number 2 starter is gone for the year. Russell making $14 million this year, set to make $16 million next year. Hopefully, he will be healthy and well then. But big blow to the Colorado Rockies' chances to lose our number 2 starter before we've even gotten to mid-March. And away from the loss of Russell, ended up with only 3 of 7 trips being successful. No improvement for Mario Manriquez on bat speed. No improvement for Makoto Hirota on control. No improvement for Alex Gamez on gap power or Carlos de Villa on gap power. John Jefferson did get his current gap power improved by 10, so that's positive. Steve Wheats, the young prospect, current power rating improved in his Generate Bat Speed program. And Ryan Harville, the reliever who we've got big hopes for, outstanding results with both potential and current pitch movement improving by 5. So some positive results there. Looking at the development lab, though, with the fact that the start of opening day was crunched automatically on us. We, for the second straight year, lose out on the second sessions in the development lab. So a bit disappointing that the game's not smart enough to kind of shorten up those first programs. And really there was nothing at all that I did this time. The default season start date had been April 10th from the end of last year. No way for me to change it until we got to the preseason. And then obviously, as we saw when we got to the preseason, it was ratcheted in a week to April 3rd. But no modifications made to the development labs. So for the second straight year, we miss out on the potential for any improvements associated with those shorter programs, which is a bit of a bummer. And we've made decisions on our 26-man roster. The starting rotation, Leo Martinez, of course, is going to be our first starter. With that season-ending injury to the number 2 starter, Bob Russell, Jesse Hoffmeister, Kyle Campos, and Mike Witherspoon are bumped up to the 2, 3, and 4 spots, respectively. And new addition Sergio Morales is going to get an opportunity to be our number 5 starter. Eric Schweitzer will once again be our closer. Chris Kennedy, Roberto Ramirez, and Jason McKinney are going to be setup men. Kennedy also serving in a stopper role, and the 2 lefties, Ramirez and McKinney, as lefty specialists. With the loss of Russell, only 3 left-handers on the team, Witherspoon in the rotation, and then Ramirez and Kennedy as setup men for now. Could be something that we look to change in the not-too-distant future. Josh Joss and Melvin Reyes back as middle relievers. Jeff Colson will be a long reliever. And the two-way player, Jason House, will be our 13th pitcher. I'm going to do mop-up duty, try to avoid high-leverage situations and long relief for him, given that his pitching skills are not particularly high. Can see that his stuff is far off major league quality, but he does have stamina and could go out there and eat up some innings. With the loss of Russell, the final 2 cuts were a couple of the top prospects in our organization, and interestingly, the 2 pitchers who we had in the development lab this past offseason, the starter Makoto Hirota, the number 73 prospect in baseball, who's the top prospect in our organization, and the reliever Ryan Harville, are both going to get a bit more seasoning in AAA, but would expect that we'll be seeing both of them at the majors before the end of this season. And a little bit of a surprise, at least to me, with the 14 players that are going to be going north with us as far as position players. And we get to do 14 because Jason House is a two-way player. He makes the team. Ted Slade makes the team as our designated hitter against left-handed pitching. What that meant is that the infielder John Jefferson, who had some injury issues last year but has pretty much been a constant on the major league roster for almost the last 2 seasons, is going to start the year in AAA. Didn't have a spot for him against right-handed pitching, with the fact that Mario Manriquez also made the team out of spring training, so we decided to get Jefferson regular playing time in AAA. When we look at our lineups, Mike Castro is going to be our everyday center fielder and leadoff hitter. Carlos Bear Barrel Davila, our everyday shortstop and number 2 hitter. Chris Kuhn will play DH for us and hit third against right-handed pitching, the new addition who we picked up in that trade with Washington in the offseason. Jason House, the two-way player, will be our second baseman and number 3 hitter against lefties. Kevin Roberts Jr., of course, our cleanup hitter and right fielder. Eric Mokeen will hit number 5 for us against righties playing left, while Phil Dingwell will hit number 5 for us against lefties playing in left field. Johnny Castillo is going to be in the lineup as our 6th hitter every day, playing second base against righties, first base against lefties this year. Number 7 hitter will be the young first baseman Mario Manriquez, second-round pick a couple years ago, gives us another lefty bat against right-handed pitching. Number 7 hitter against left-handed pitching will be the DH Ted Slade. Alex Gomez is going to be our everyday third baseman, batting 8th, and J.D. Lee will catch for us and bat 9th against righties. Elliot Bedford finally going to get his regular shot in the majors this year. He'll bat 9th and catch for us against left-handed pitching. And we've now made it to opening day. No surprise, Charlie Monfort expects us to make the playoffs this year. Top 100 prospects list has been published. Not surprisingly, no Colorado Rockies on that list. Taking a look at our player development, farm system ranks 22nd, although some positives. Makoto Hirota, since a few days ago, has moved up to the number 27 prospect in baseball. Nils Mensch, the 75th prospect in baseball, is our only other top 100 prospect. You can see we've also got 5 players ranked between number 101 and number 200. Catcher Adrian McCallum and the closer Ryan Harville, who we talked about, are along with Hirota in AAA. Could hopefully be seeing something from all of them before the end of this season. Before we finish things off, take a look at the preseason predictions over in the American League. The Las Vegas Athletics expected to win 105 games, and the New York Yankees expected to win 102. I believe those were the top 2 teams in the league last year, and if I remember correctly, I think they faced off in the ALCS. Could be wrong about that. My memory is getting worse every year. Over in the National League, our Rockies expected to win 102 games. Padres beat us for the division last year. We're expected to edge them out by 5 games this year. The Braves, who led the National League in all of baseball in wins last year, only expected to get to 87 this year, but they are expected to win another division title. The Brewers also expected to win the NL North. The Mets and Pirates expected to be in a flat-footed tie in a very tight National League East, at least in this simulation. Taking a look at the stats through this simulation, Kevin Roberts Jr. projected to have the batting average drop to 250, but if he does have 34 homers and 44 steals, that would mark the 6th 30-30 season of his storied career. Pitching-wise, Leo Martinez expected to have another big year for us as our ace, and Jesse Hoffmeister, who's moved up to the 2 spot in our rotation with the injury to Bob Russell, expected to follow up his league-leading 17-win season from a year ago with 17 wins again here in 2042. And as we get ready for the season, team chemistry looks pretty good. The clubhouse is happy, no complaints. Generally good relationships with all of our players, with manager Toby Staveland. A lot of really good personality influences in the clubhouse. Mike Castro remains a very productive player, but his personality has definitely gotten a bit more sour over the years as he's become more of a veteran. High financial ambition, low leadership, loyalty, and work ethic at this point. But as I said, he remains a pretty productive player, and hopefully that will continue. Last but not least, checking in on the team. Outfield and pitching, generally really strong, with the exception of Eric Mokeen. Carlos Davila, considered one of the top shortstops or the top shortstop in baseball at this point. But the rest of our infield and the catching position not ranked particularly high, at least if you believe the OSA. Leo Martinez at this point is our franchise all-time leader in wins and strikeouts. Kevin Five Tools Roberts continues to chase Todd Helton to be on the top of the leaderboard as far as the position player categories. Still several years off in games played and hits. But the 369 home runs that Todd Helton has as a Rockies record could definitely be surpassed this year by Mr. Roberts Jr. He's got 364 right now, so barring some massive injury or a complete falling off the map in terms of his performance, Kevin Roberts Jr. Probably in late April or early May will be the greatest slugger in Rockies history. And with that, we will call it an episode. Next time around, the 2042 season will get underway. Until then, thanks so much for watching, and hope you have a great day.